Patty. I'm the teen librarian. And today, do you want to build a snowman? We are going to make a snowman, a sock snowman that will look like this. And inside your bag, you will find your instructions. You will also find a plastic bag, and inside that will be another smaller plastic bag. The other things that you will need will be some rice to fill your snowman, about 1 2/3 a cup or a little less. You can decide when you're filling. Some kind of jar or glass to help you put the rice in. A Sharpie for your snowman's mouth. And some tacky glue if you want to attach your things with tacky glue. There is an option if you want a little lighter weight snowman to put on maybe a smaller tree that doesn't have thick, really strong branches. Then you could fill your sock with maybe another sock that's lost its mate, some cotton balls. If anybody around the house has got some old pantyhose or tights that have a run in them, you could use that too. We are going to use rice today. But in your kit, you're going to find a large piece of fleece, a long piece of fleece, a short piece of fleece, your sock, and then your small pieces. In your small pieces, you have 3 rubber bands, you have the black punch-out pieces for your eyes, and the pins with the white ends to secure your eyes. You have an orange nose, you have a snowflake sequin, some other colored sequins in here, a colored pin end for your snowflake sequin, and then some other pins for your buttons. So the first thing that we are going to do is stretch out our sock. Put your hand in, move it around and stretch it out. Okay, then we are going to put our sock over our jar. And put in our rice slowly. Slowly is better. Okay, and then pushing it down. And you may want to stretch your sock again while you're doing this. Okay, put in the rest of the cup, first cup. Put in the other 1/3 of a cup. Stretch it a little more. Pull it out, stretch it down. Okay. I'm going to add the rest of the rice, and again, you can kind of, this is up to you how much rice you want to put in. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use all of this last 1/3 of a cup. Well, I can try and, there, that works. Okay, so I did use all of it after all. Okay, then you are going to take your sock out of the jar, and then we will need our rubber bands. And we're going to add 1 rubber band at the top, and usually if you go around it, like about, wrap it around about 6 times. whatever, 6 times is good. Okay. Then you're going to add your other rubber band towards the middle, and you can kind of decide the shape of your snowman, how big. And this time we'll go around a couple of times. We can figure out our body and our head. Okay, there we go. Okay, now that we've got our snowman's body put together, we are going to work on his hat. And for that, we need our large piece of fleece and our smaller, shorter piece of fleece. We need our Snowflake Sequins, one of our colored sequins. You can use a silver pin in these and use the colored one to secure the back of your hat, or you can reverse these if you want fancier snowflake. So the first thing we're going to do, we also need our last rubber band. So the first thing we're going to do is fold over one edge of our fleece opposite the fringe. It's going to be kind of like the cuff of the hat. And then we're going to wrap the hat around our snowman's head. Get the pieces together at the back here. And then we're going to take our pin and we're going to secure it with the pin. Then we're going to gather up the fringe there, and we're going to secure that with the rubber band, and we're going to do that, wrap the rubber band around a couple of times. Okay, and then to cover up the rubber band, we're going to take our small short piece of fleece and you can cover that. And you could either glue that if you want, or you can use a pin. I'm just going to use a pin a little quicker here, the demo. Okay. Then you can flare the fringe out. And some of this, the rest of this, it may be easier to do while your snowman's lying down. So you can have him lie down to do his eyes. I've taken the eye, one of the eye pieces out of the black piece there and taken the paper off the back and put one of the white pins in there. And you can put the white pins wherever you want. If you want them in the center of the black or at the side of the black, you can do either one. And you can take his nose here. You can cut this if you want. You can cut the eyes if you want them a different shape. Let me make this a little smaller here. His nose. Okay. And then for his mouth, you'll use your Sharpie. And you can make an O like your snowman singing, or a smile, or whatever you want to do. I'm going to make an O. Like he's singing. He or she. Okay. I'm going to kind of readjust my pieces here. I'm going to put his scarf on. This is our last piece of fleece. Wrap the scarf around, and then I'm going to decide how I want to do my buttons. And if you have other sequins decorations at home, you can use those. You can, you know, whatever you have that you like. So I got his scarf on. So I'm gonna put in, oops, you know what I forgot? This goes at the front of the hat, the Snowflake Sequin, so that can go on anytime. So then you can take the rest of your sequins and your pins, and you can put, buttons down the front of your snowman, however you want to do. If you wanted to do, you could also draw on there if you've got different colored markers, if you wanted to have something, besides buttons down there. You have him look like he's wearing a coat. So you may end up with some sequins and some pins left over, depending on how you want to decorate your snowman. And I'm going to make a little adjustment to mine here, to my one rubber band, and adjust his hat a little bit. Okay, and here is my finished snowman. And I may make some adjustments later, but you get the general idea. The other thing I found, that if you want to do any more of these, it's hard to find plain white socks anymore. So many of them have a logo or a stripe on them. So your best bet is to go to the dollar store, and there you can get the plain white socks like this without anything. So this is your snowman, and I hope you've enjoyed making it, and please decorate yours however you like, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you. Have a great holiday season.